Yeah. All I need is one mic. Yeah. All I need is one mic.
Hey everybody, welcome back to One Mic, where I watch shit so you don't have to. And today I'm here to talk about Season 5, Episode 4 of HBO's Insecure, entitled Faulty, okay? I don't like that one, but I'm going to keep it. So before I get started talking about the episode, I want to kind of give a little bit of a explanation on the delay here. It's currently Wednesday, November 17th. This episode aired Sunday. I'm just now posting videos for both episodes 3 and 4 today. And the reason for that is when I was going to post episode 3, it was going to be Wednesday of that week. And I got sick from my COVID booster shot, and things just kind of got out of hand. Plus, I have a lot of stuff that's I watch on Sunday. So now I'm trying to find some balance with how I'm going to post these things. Originally, I was going to post Insecure videos on Wednesdays because I go into the office on Tuesdays. But now it's looking like Showtime is putting out its Sunday shows on demand at the start of Sunday. So I'm going to try to watch those shows on Sunday and record those videos and get them up on Sunday. And then Monday can be for Succession and Insecure. That's my goal going forward. But I just wanted to give you guys an explanation for the delay in these two videos and assure you that worst case scenario, Insecure videos will come out on Wednesdays going forward, but I'm not going to miss any more weeks again or anything like that. So this episode, even more so than last week, felt very much like filler. I don't want to say filler because that sounds so insulting, but it had something that I really liked, which as is the same thing I said last week for episode 3, which is when we talk about topics that are kind of taboo in the Black community or certain stigmas that exist within the Black community. This episode had that. It had some mental health stuff in here, and then it also had something that happens in the Black community a lot, which is kind of like this crabs in a bucket mentality, which I'll get to in a moment. But I kind of feel like, do we really need an episode that was largely about Nate when we only have six episodes left in the entire show? I just feel like we just are not really moving this thing along. And even though on a individual level with each individual episode, there are things to take away and things to discuss that are interesting. But as a whole, when we're talking about a final season, I feel like these episodes, I feel like they're acting like they don't know this is the final season when we know that they know because we knew it was the final season going in. But I feel like they're acting like they don't, like this isn't the final season. They just have however much time to do whatever it is that they want. And I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I just kind of feel like we're not really pressing and moving forward here. And this episode in particular, I barely found it interesting, to be perfectly honest. While I appreciate the subjects that were tackled, and I enjoyed those things in those moments, overall as an episode, I only found it a little bit interesting. And I'm surprised that, again, that they just really don't seem to be, I don't want to say taking it seriously, but I feel like there should be more urgency in a show that only has about 3 hours left of runtime in its entire series. I don't know. I feel like there should be a little bit more urgency there. So this episode, one of the two things that I felt like I liked that they were talking about was the first was with Nate regarding his mental issues. Again, big stigma in the Black community is mental health. We don't talk about it. We don't see therapists. And this is less the case now, but it was very taboo, the idea of seeing a therapist. Now it's gotten a little bit more commonplace. People are more comfortable discussing that and admitting that they see therapists, and I like that's happening right now. But in general, it's something that's not really well accepted within the Black community. So to have Nate really opening up about the whole situation with living with his cousin and his wife, I thought that was interesting. He said he was manic at the time and didn't know it. The cousin is you were coming and going for days at a time. You leave for 5 days and then come back and stay for 3 and then leave for another. He had an erratic schedule where he didn't really come and go in a respectful way like you would if you're living with a cousin and a wife. You want to be on your P's and Q's. You don't want to just fuck off for 5 days and no one knows where you are or whatever the case may be. I can't believe I almost said where you is. I can't believe I almost said that. But he said he was like leaving the door open and shit. And he's like, I got kids, man. Like, yeah, you can't be coming in and out, leaving the door unlocked or open. I can't remember if he said unlocked or open. Either way, it's not a good look. But, I like the fact that Nate spent some time there talking about that. The show spent some time talking about that. The whole dynamic between him and Issa as far as the whole crying in the mouth situation from however long ago that was. That's another issue I have with the way these episodes almost seem like bottle episodes and like they tell these individual stories in each episode. I can't remember when the last time the storyline took place. So like whenever the whole crying in the mouth thing was, I don't remember if that was episode 1 or episode 2. And we might get to a point where now we're at episode 8 and we're talking about something that happened in episode 2. And I'm like, I don't remember when this was because we don't have any kind of like real, it's not progressing chronologically, I guess, which is a dumb complaint to have, but it's weird for me doing these videos trying to go like, yeah, that happened and I don't know when that happened. Not last week. It happened at some point in the past. But I like that they spent some time on that. I like that Issa and Nate came to some sort of a resolution. They decided they wanted to be together. There was an earthquake when they kissed, which was corny as fuck, but I'll let it go. Whatever. I'm not really invested in Issa and Nate, but that's kind of where I want to see how the direction that I want to see this show go in is her ironing out like, okay, who is the best person for me as it pertains to like certain issues, right? She has baggage with Lawrence. Are they going to find common ground and end up together? She has baggage with Nate. Are they going to find common ground and end up together? Is that fucking guy Daniel going to show up again? Who knows? But that's where I'm most invested. And, spending entire episodes away from that, I think is not the best decision in the world. But again, I appreciate that they're spending time on some of this more intense subject matter that we don't really talk about in the Black community. The other thing they talked about, and this was very, very brief. It was almost kind of like a throwaway plot line, if you want to call it that. But this kind of like crabs in a bucket mentality that we have in the Black community as well. It's like we don't want to see each other win. And Crenshaw just like constantly throwing shade toward Issa online, all skin folk ain't kin folk, like all this kind of shit, right? And we know what happened with them. We saw what happened at that art show. We know he was out of pocket. We know he was talking about sellouts and all this kind of shit, not listening, not caring about the brand, just being who he was. But if you're one of these people who's seeing him throw shade at her online and you don't know that, or you might think like, man, this Issa person, this Issa D person must be like a real piece of shit. And like, what reason does he have to do that? He won. Like, his show went well. Why is he throwing her under the bus? And that kind of shit, that happens so much in our community. And like, I don't like to see it, but I'm glad that the show is tackling that. I hope that Issa, and I hope we see Crenshaw again. Like, I hope they don't just leave this little bit. I want to see him again, and I want to see them iron this out and have a real conversation about the different approaches that Black people could take toward business, especially at different points in their life, right? Crenshaw, fresh out of jail, trying to do something, trying to get his artwork out there, his fashion, trying to do big things, but he doesn't understand the dynamic of working with a brand or working with a company or whatever. And Issa does. And it's one of those things where like they both see their own side. And I hope that they can not even necessarily come to a common ground, but that they can both kind of like have a conversation that essentially is talking to the Black community about how to interact if you choose to go the Issa route, but then not acting like going the Issa route makes you like a sellout. Like, that's where I kind of, I want them to kind of play around with that a little bit. But I thought that was an interesting direction as well. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, another plot line from this episode that kind of bothered me, was the plot line involving Molly. When we last saw Molly, I think, again, episode 2 or whatever, I can't remember which one it was. It wasn't last week because that was just all Lawrence. But episode 1 or 2, there was an episode where Molly almost seemed to have an epiphany on how she's approached relationships with men. And she's going over like, oh, what's it like to date you? And she's like thinking back on how she interacted with previous guys. And I got on here on this camera and said that I think it's interesting that Molly could now take a more mature approach to how she interacts with men and not be so Oh fuck, the word is escaping me. Shallow, yes, not be so shallow in what she is looking for with men, and take a more mature approach. And then now we have Molly here essentially deciding which one of these guys am I gonna fuck based upon who's hotter. Like, like it, Molly in this episode showed no growth from what we saw last week. It was all about who am I gonna fuck this week? Oh, looking at her pussy. Oh, this would be a good one right here. Like, what are we doing right here? Like that, that's cool. Like, as far as like for comedic reasons and for what the show has done historically, that's like that's funny, haha, that's cool. But like earlier in this season, they showed us that Molly was trying to take this a little bit more seriously, and they gave me mature Molly vibes. And then this week they just gave, it just seemed like she just went right back to season 1 Molly. Like she turns down the one guy who wants to go take care of his cat, but it's not like this other Arik guy is worth a damn either. He's a fucking idiot too. Like what, like it's just like who's hotter? Like that's all it boils down to. Like she had to fuck somebody, and she was like, who's gonna, she didn't even like have like standards. Like, okay, like I'm gonna fuck the guy that's whatever. It was just like whichever one of them doesn't fuck this up worse is the guy that I'm gonna fuck. As if she's obligated to fuck somebody, and if she's obligated to fuck one of them too. Like, and I'm like, what is this with Molly's storyline? Like, that really irritated me because I'm thinking like, okay, you're giving me a character arc here of somebody who made poor decisions in relationships from a shallow perspective, and then who seems to be growing, wants to mature, wants to find a man, ready to kind of like look past all that shallow materialistic bullshit and actually find somebody of substance. And then the very next time we see her, it's about, I gotta fuck one of these two. Whichever one is less stupid is gonna be the one. Like, okay. So this is season 1 Molly all over again, just with a haircut. Like, and I'd say all kinds of nice stuff about the haircut and how women, how that changes, women, how that gives them a fresh approach toward life. Like the meaning behind that big chop when black women do it, like that means something. And again, like I said, the show has done a good job so far of taking these topics that exist within the black community and giving them a little bit more of a spotlight. And I talked about that. And for her to just come back this week and just be same old Molly with no fucking standards other than who's hotter, like, or who's less stupid, like, they can both be they can be stupid. Just whichever one is less stupid is the one I'm not gonna fuck. And like making jokes, he's concerned with the wrong cat. It's like, yeah, ha funny, but like I said, at the same time, this seems like a complete 180 from the Molly that they tried to show me we were about to have 2 episodes ago. So, like I said, like there's things that I like. Like I like these topics that they're talking about, and I like the humor is still there. I still like being around these characters, but there's just so many questionable decisions. It seems like each week I'm like, why would you do it that way? And I did not like the shit with Molly this week. I did, like I said, I like the Crenshaw stuff just from of the perspective of talking about that kind of like crabs in a bucket mentality, and I like the stuff with Nate as it pertains to mental illness and whatnot. But again, like I found these past couple episodes to be very meh, like just mid as fuck, man. These last couple episodes, very mid. So like I want to see them try to actually go like, okay, this show ends in 6 weeks. Like this is it. We have 3 hours left of content here. Let's actually give these characters the closing out of their arcs that they deserve. And for 6 episodes out, for Molly to be doing the shit she did in this episode shows zero growth from season 1, episode 1 Molly to season 5, episode 4 Molly. Zero growth. And that pisses me off because they really sold me on the growth 2 episodes back. But I don't know, man. I guess that's really all I got to say. Let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know what you think if you thought that this was a really good episode, or if you kind of feel me on the fact that it's moving kind of slow and they made some questionable decisions. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys next week, hopefully on Monday with a review for episode 5. If not Wednesday, but hopefully Monday. That all relies on me getting these Sunday episodes out on Sunday. So we will see. But either way, next week, Monday, Wednesday, I'll see you guys then. Peace.